Hello all, welcome back to my channel. This is Srihari. This is day 2 of our 100 days multi-cloud series. Yesterday we had learned AWS IAM policies, right? And today we continue with Azure Entra ID and RBAC, which is Microsoft Identified Platform. By this end of this video, you will create the users, groups and assign to the RBAC roles in Azure. Okay. If you are visit my channel first time, please like and subscribe my channel guys for more videos. Thank you. And this is my GitHub account. I will post here everything like day 1, day 2, day 3. I will update here. Okay. Okay, in today we mainly focus on setup Azure Entra ID users, groups and roles. Okay. And also we discussed about the difference between RBAC and IAM, identity types and least privilege. First one, what is Azure Entra ID? This Entra ID is previously Azure Active Directory. It is identified and access management service for Microsoft. Yesterday we discussed, right, in AWS we have IAM, means IAM, identity and access management. In same, right, in Azure we have Azure Entra ID. Azure Entra ID, previously it is Azure Active Directory. Okay, think of it, the place where all users, groups, apps and permissions in Azure. Same like yesterday we discussed, right, in AWS IAM. It places all users, groups, roles, policies and permissions, like in same like in Azure also users, groups, apps and permissions are placed in Azure Entra ID. This Azure has contain three types of roles. This Azure has three types. In AWS we have the four types, but in Azure we have the three types. That is, first one, users. This users is real users who can log in, means real people who log in. That is user or admin, everything. Second one is groups. This groups is collection of users for permission management. Permission management. Same like. Third one is RBAC. RBAC. This is means role based role based access control. This is roles assign the permission to groups or users at the different scopes. Different scopes. We'll discuss the difference between the RBAC and IAM. That is RBAC in Azure, IAM in AWS. We'll discuss one by one here. Now start with the features. Our first scope is in AWS IAM roles. We have the mostly account level permissions we have here. But in Azure RBAC we have the subscription based and resource group and resource based we have the permissions. That is scope. Second one is the permission. These permissions In AWS, we have the JSON policies. In Azure, predefined policies. In identity, for identity store, this is the third feature. Here in AWS having the IAM. In Azure, we have the Entra ID. In fourth one, service access. Same in AWS we have the IAM roles. In Azure manage identities. Policy style, it is by defaultly allow and deny. In Azure by default it is mostly allow. Here this AWS IAM is more flexible more flexible but complex. Hey, what happened in today's my pen? Sorry, AWS. Okay, this AWS IAM is more flexible, but it is complex. But, but in Azure RBAC is more more structured, and uses builds it in roles. In roles. Okay, it is like owner, contributor, reader, VM contributor, storage blob reader. These all are the role types. In Azure RBAC scopes is mainly it allows the permission assignment at three levels. This Azure RBAC scope. Sorry. This Azure RBAC scope is it allows the permission assigned at three levels. First level, management group. That is management group. In this group is highest. Second group is subscription. Subscription, and third step is resource group. And final one is the resource. These resource like virtual machine, storage, or database, etc. Here, this Entra ID best practices for why this Entra ID is popular. This Entra ID best popular for Azure Entra ID best practices for use groups for permissions. Never assign use groups for permissions. They never assign these roles directly. Then third one, use least privilege. Least privilege. Fourth one, enable MFA, multi-factor authentication. Fifth step, use conditional access. So these all are the Azure Entra ID best practices. Okay, now we will see our project architecture now. This is our project architecture. For example, this is the Entra ID. First one, Entra ID. In this Entra ID is assigned to three levels: users, groups, and app. Means application. As we have discussed previous right? Same like. Then after that, it's in here. This assign the RBAC policies. This RBAC policies will again is defined by the subscription based subscription, that is resource group and resource. This is our this is our sample theory about our project. Now we are going to deep dive our project. If you found interesting this, please subscribe my channel, guys. Thank you. So I am opening my Azure account. If you don't have the Microsoft Azure account, please go through it and create the one account. Thank you. Go to the Micro Azure portal. Here select Microsoft Entra ID. In here, scroll down. Here click on add user. Here you can choose and enter the name. Here select any name. I am giving my name also. Sorry, I am giving day to Azure. Okay, after the display name also I will give day to Azure. Password I am select this auto generate password. Okay. Then click on account enable. By default leave it. Then if you want, go to the properties, check this all, then assignments, finally review and create. So after that click on create. This is the standard identity inside in Azure Entra ID. Okay. Now we'll check that user is created or not. For that, in search in users. See here, day to Azure is created. Again, now we are create the group. So click on the groups in search bar. Groups here. Click on new group. Here also type security. Leave it. Then group name. Day to Azure. I am giving the Azure group. Then click on create. We'll see. Click on all groups here. See here, beautiful. This group is created. Day to Azure group is created. What is this? We will assign the permissions to this group instead of the users. Which permission? That security permissions. Okay. Now we will create the resource group. For that, go to the resource group, click on that resource. See here, resource group opening. Here you can select the resource group, that this Azure subscription by default, region also by default. Resource group name, sorry, okay, day 2 Azure resource group, Azure resource group, then review and click on review and create. Here what we did, we create this user, after that we created group, and third one we created the resource group. Okay, but now is our fourth step. Here we assign the RBAC role to our group. Okay, for that, go to the resource group again, resource group. Here click on access, it's good. Now open this day to Azure resource group. Here select the IAM roles, IAM access control. Wait some time, it takes sometimes for, then grant the local for this resource. So I am click on the add role assignment for this. For this role is assigning this RBAC access to that specific group. We select that group also here. So for example, a privileged administrator roles. For here, I can select the contributor. Then I am clicking the OK here. Role is selected. Our next step is we need to select the members. So click on add. I am giving to day 2 Azure user. Then click on select. Then after that, click next, review and assign finally. What this what this done here means, now all users who is having that access, he can he can manage the resource inside the resource group. Okay, this is done. In today's video, what we done here means, what we done here in today, we did Entra ID user creation. First step we did here in first Entra ID user creation. Second, security group creation. Third, rollback act, rollback role assignment. Fourth step, scope the permissions in scope the permission in resource group and user. We did all this. In today discuss this real world scenarios. What is this main scenario here? Why I am explaining this real world scenarios? Can you guess? For why means, this is help to you your interview also. Okay, real world scenarios. Here, first point, permissions are never assigned to the subscription level. So permission is never assigned to subscription level. My pen is having the issue. Second point, teamwork is inside the separate resource group. Okay. Third one, RBAC events and the accidental deletion of the shared resource. For example, the developer is having the developer is inside of the contributor. Inside of the contributor. This contributor is resource group, and also this managers. This manager is parts of the reader groups. Why? Because this is based on the subscription based. Then, for example, DevOps. This DevOps is owner for this all. Here also we have the resource group. For example, fourth one is authors, auditors. For this auditors also reader. For this we can give the tenant access here. It is done today's video for this. Okay. Before now it's came to your time, your homework. What you need to done here? Here you can create two more groups for admins and auditors. For admins, you can give the assign the owner permissions, owner access, but auditor you can give the assign reader access. Then this is first. Then second one, create the two more users. Create two more users. Third one, assign them to groups. Means this users you can assign to these groups. Then fourth one, test the permissions. These permissions all are working or not. Okay. Thank you guys. In date in upcoming video we will discuss about GCP IAM plus service account. We'll discuss tomorrow's video. If you found this interesting, please like, follow and subscribe my channel guys. Then hit on the bell icon. Okay, this is my GitHub account. I will post here all days complete PDF. Means complete information. For example, yesterday we discussed about day 1 of AWS IAM. So you can go to here inside. This is our content. In content, this is our overall project, and also this is what is IAM. AWS IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. This will help to you for your interview also. Then what is the IAM groups? A collection of users who share the same permission to use cases, developers groups, admin groups, and auditor groups. This all are will help you definitely. This is the our project diagram. This is the step by step how to run this project or task to complete. Okay. And also this is my LinkedIn guys. If you found interesting, please follow here I will post this job notifications along this test materials, PDFs, books also I will post here. Thank you so much.